We all have a story to tell. Let's tell yours. Welcome to the Intellectual People Podcast with your host, Jason. Come together and listen to journey stories and more from interesting people. Welcome your host, Jason.
Today on the Intellectual People Podcast, I have Gardar from goodgood.net. How are you doing today, Gardar?
I'm doing great, or good, as we like to say here.
Very well. Gardar, what is goodgood.net other than a website?
Well, goodgood.net is our website for our company called Goodgood. Goodgood is a better for you brand, and we specialize in creating products with no added sugars and made from natural and sustainable ingredients. The name Goodgood means the product that we make has to be good for you, and number 1, 2, and 3 is that they have to taste good.
So we got what it is and also what Goodgood stands for now.
Exactly.
Wonderful. Let's go back in your earlier days. Did you always think that you would be in the food industry?
To be honest, no. I mean, I always wanted to be in business, and my interests were laying there, to be honest. But I was not necessarily sure what the road I would take upon. So, I mean, I always have this entrepreneurial spirit of starting something and getting things done without basically having a lot of knowledge on how to do it. So with my previous project, I just started from scratch and took it from there. So from early on, I've had this entrepreneurial need, as you would say, to find out things on my own. So
how did you come about starting Goodgood then?
Well, this is actually my third food business that I have participated in. So I started in the salt business, creating sustainable salt flakes in Iceland, where I'm from. Explains the accent. So, and from there, I went into another entrepreneurship project, and then a friend of mine approached me with this natural sweeteners idea. Then we were just starting to acquire a stevia drop facility here in Iceland, and they asked me if I wanted to join them in this venture. And what fascinated me right from the get-go was the great attributes that natural sweetener have in substituting sugar. So immediately we recognized the huge opportunity of creating products that are as sweet as the sugary ones, just not without the bad effects of sugar. So that's what got us started on Goodgood.
How old is Goodgood now?
It's since 2015, so it's 6 years old. We started with the natural sweeteners like stevia drops and the sugar replacement, and then we started to make jams and spreads and bars and syrups. So now we're available in about 20 countries worldwide. North America and specifically the US is our biggest market. We are in about 6,000 stores across the states. And yeah, we're growing the business every day and creating fun, innovative solutions for people to substitute sugary products for no added sugar ones.
And it appears that you also do e-commerce through your website, goodgood.net.
Yeah, so from the start, we recognized that e-commerce was the future and is the future. So in 2016, we immediately started to sell the product on Amazon, which was a new thing at the time because not a lot of food business were selling their products there. But still, then it grew exponentially over the years. So even before we started to sell direct to retail in the States, like Walmart or Publix, we started to sell through Amazon and immediately got the feedback from the customers we wanted, started to create a community around the product just being available on Amazon. And then, of course, it has grown quite a lot. And then when COVID, of course, made us all be at home and stuck at home, the Amazon business just went exceptionally fast, and we almost tripled the business in 1 year on Amazon sales. So,
wow, that's a blessing and a curse, right?
Absolutely.
Let's talk about the natural sweeteners. Why are natural sweeteners? How and why are they different than natural sugar?
Yeah, that's a great question. I mean, there are two kinds of sweetener, talking about them in broad sense. There are the one natural sweeteners, as we would like to call them, and then there are artificial sweeteners. We define natural sweeteners as sweeteners that exist in nature. So like stevia, for example, it comes directly from the stevia plant from South America. And another sweetener called erythritol comes from fruits when they start to ferment, you know. Artificial sweeteners are like those who are made in a lab, like sucralose and asulfam K and those sweeteners. So we only use natural sweeteners in our products because one of our defining rule of product innovation is to have natural ingredients. Natural sweeteners in our are like low carb or have low carb or doesn't have any effect on the blood sugars in the body. So when you consume them, your body does not turn them into energy compared to natural sugars. So sugar is just 100% energy, and you don't need all of that excess energy, especially in your daily routine, and especially for those who work in front of a computer. And of course, with all of the other effects of sugar that now have been scientifically proven, natural sweeteners do not, again, have carbs or cause tooth decay or spike the blood sugars. So all the lifestyle diseases that are associated with sugars, natural sweeteners tend not to increase those, according to research.
Okay. Are your products manufactured in Iceland or are they manufactured here in North America?
So we develop and design all the products here in Iceland. So we work here closely on designing and creating the recipe from scratch, selecting ingredients. But we produce most of the products in the Netherlands, in Europe.
Okay.
But we just started producing our first product in the States, and that's the pancake mix. That's becoming quite popular right now. And we intend to produce more products in the States based on recipes we develop here.
And why would you produce here in the States rather than in the Netherlands where your other products are manufactured?
Yeah, because we will continue, of course, producing in the Netherlands for European markets. But one of our main goals as a business is to be sustainable and be closer to the markets. And if the ingredients are available in North America, we can produce it in the States, and we don't have to ship it over the ocean. And yeah, so that's our future goal, definitely.
Will you or do you own the manufacturing facilities here in the States, or is that something that you subcontract to a large scale producer?
Yeah, we used to own our own production facility, but we sold it away to focus more of our time to develop and design products. And also, we want to have a portfolio in place that is that has a lot of varieties, and we can do different kinds of lines. So from the beginning, we decided not to produce our own, but work with certified producers both across the Atlantic. It also gives us a little bit versatility and strength in bringing more products to life. And our main goal as a business is to become a sugar-free household brand. And if we work with certified producers that can scale with us, we are enabling that vision of ours.
Is Good fully funded, or are you actively looking for funding as well, investors?
We just finished a financing round 1 month ago, $2 million. Before that, we finished $3 million a year ago. So we are fully funded as of now. But with the scaling of the business and bringing new products, of course, that is always on the agenda to get more funding with more growth. So that's just one of the main tasks of any scale-ups is to seek more funding. But as of now, we are fully funded.
Great. How many people make up Good?
Yeah, so we have 12 employees. We
Okay.
have 3 employees in the States, and the rest is based here in Iceland in our HQ. Of course, we are a business that works with a lot of contractors and co-mans and co-manufacturers, and also third-party logistics. So it's a bigger company if you count them, but we are a small team of very effective people here working across 3 different time zones at least.
Great. Would you mind discussing each product? I know there's a vast selection of products, but if you don't mind mentioning your products of what you have and what is unique about them, that would be great.
Absolutely. So, I mean, our legacy line is our sweetener line, natural sweetener lines. Those are stevia drops and sugar replacements. From that, we pivoted into the jams and jellies. And it's a kind of funny story how we started in the jams. We had a lot of excess inventory of natural sweeteners that are about to get expired. And we are against food waste at our company. So we quickly started to develop jam recipe because we knew that 60% of jams have sugar. And from that came our most popular line up to date, our jam line, and especially strawberry line. So our jams, they have about 1 gram sugar per serving, which is extremely low. And they have 60% fruits, real fruits. Then we use 20% natural sweeteners. And they don't raise the sugar level, still has the savory and sweet taste of regular jam, just without the sugar. Then we have chocolate spreads, similar to Nutella, just without the sugar, and we only use sustainable certified palm oil. And then we have Choco Orange, which is a orange flavored chocolate spread. It's ridiculously good. We make those in Belgium, so it says what it has to say, Belgian chocolate. Yep. Then we have a sweetener syrup that is very similar to a maple flavored thick rich syrup, but just without the sugar and carbs, and still with the natural flavors. And then we just recently launched, or 1 year ago, we launched our Keto bars, when we have 4 different flavors there: salty caramel, raspberry cheesecake, and coconut and banana almond.
Excellent. Is that all?
I'm definitely forgetting something. We're always cooking something up here, and that's part of the scale up. But yeah, it's and then of course we have so many varieties and so many flavors and SKUs. So people can look at our website, goodgood.net, if they want to see the entire portfolio. But I mean, we are part of our mission is to innovate, and not only products creation, but also just innovating in our business, and also just thinking differently.
Where do you see the end goal? I'm not asking for the roadmap, but where does the roadmap end? Like, do you want to have breads as well, or how far do you take it?
Yeah, I mean, this is a really good question. And I mean, one of the hard thing of being an entrepreneur, because you need to be open-minded and always open to new ideas. So you also need to realize that you have constraints, resource constraints, money constraints, time constraints, which I would say is the biggest. You cannot just accomplish so much in a day. But I mean, the dream with Good is to create a household, no other sugar line that people can rely on. So we are of course taking our footing in a brunch line. Basically, we have our jams, syrups, and spreads, and pancake mix.
Yep.
And that's one way to come into the market and introduce to families, because I think overall we all want to reduce our sugar intake. But then we went into the snack and savory line with the bars. So we are now looking into creating more baking mixes. And then again, there are so endless opportunities. But one key for us is that our products are all ambient and have quite good shelf life. So I don't know, sky is the limit, but at the same time, you need to focus and constrain, and where are the low-hanging fruits. So right. We want to innovate where the need is the most, and keep on, and always key for us is to have the customer happy. So we don't put a product on the market unless it's good. It's key for us. So yeah, it takes time to make a great product.
how is the interaction being in Iceland and dealing with the Food and Drug Administration, which I would presume that you have to deal with, right, for certifications? How is that process for good?
Yeah, absolutely. We of course have a US identity that is registered with the FDA, and also our European company is registered with the FDA as well. So I mean, it's regulations. We of course rely on consultants in that regard, and we have a quality manager in house. The rules are of course a little bit different than what we have in the European Union,
Hmm.
but still they're quite the same. So different kinds of ingredients are allowed, so you need to double check on that. But overall, I would say if you are quality minded and quality focused like we are, it's quite straightforward, and you just read and do what the rule says, and then you don't find any problems. And then, I mean, going forward, and we have years of experience. I mean, FDA knows us. They know we deliver. We have consultants also, US-based consultant helping us with labeling and ingredient selection. So it's just something you cannot mess up with. I mean, it needs to be 100%. Quality is key, and regulations are key. So we take that very seriously, always in product innovation. So if one really is quality minded and knows how to read and interpret the regulations in the right way as FDA wants, we don't have any problems with them, and they don't have any problems with us, of course. But
I
it
see.
is a jungle. It is a jungle, to be honest. It takes time. So
I'm sure.
yeah.
What are the challenging parts of creating a new brand that's involved in food, right? We all consume food, but doing something out of the ordinary and attracting a consumer, I would imagine, has to be difficult. So explain those challenges and, if you don't mind, and how you overcame them.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, there are so many ways to answer that question. I think there's a mix on especially about emerging as a food brand. I mean, the competition is one. It's heavy competition. The giants on the market, they own it, the big companies. But at the same time, I think with the emerge of the e-commerce site where we started, we could really put our products on the market where the consumers were searching for it in store, couldn't find low carb or no added sugar products, but they could find them on Amazon. And that is basically is part of our success, is that we built on online immediately from the start. We got those niche consumers at the time, like keto and low carb groups, that could not find sugar-free products in their store, in their local grocery. So there we built our community, and there we were very serious in listening to their comments about how we could improve what products they were searching for. And then, I mean, e-commerce just exploded, and then we got into the attention of the buyers of the big chains in the States. So the key is always to have good product. If you don't have good product, then you shouldn't be in this business. In my opinion, food is it's a repeated buys. So you're not just trying to sell one time. You're trying to create a longevity customer. So remember that, in my opinion, is that product is key, and and quality, and to make the customer satisfied is number 1, 2, and 3. That being said, there's a lot of business hurdles. It's hard to get into the chains, hard to get the attention. It just takes a lot of time, effort, of course, being product minded and quality minded, but also quite a lot of capital, as you would imagine.
Does Good have any aspirations of going commercial to other, whether it's restaurant side or other vendors that use Good products?
Yeah, we've been asked a lot about if we can do bulk sizes for industrial use, and for bakeries and such.
Yeah.
It's quite difficult because the nature of the product is no added sugar, and sugar acts as a preservative. So if you make a bigger size, it's hard to maintain the quality because there are more risk factors in place. But we are definitely looking into it, and we have in some way. Like, we work with Icelandic skier brand in some senses on a small scale, and we have worked with bakeries with our chocolate spreads. So
Okay.
we are interested, but it's not the primary focus, to be
I
honest.
see. And it's not the primary focus because you feel that the end user, the consumer, the individual is far greater than you would get from commercial side, or is there another reason other than the preservatives, the lack thereof, I should say?
Yeah, I mean, there are always solutions to any problems. We are a solution-minded company, but as for now, I mean, we are constrained by resources. We are not a big team. So I mean, we are now primarily focused on the family experience with our products to try to get into the brand staple of every family. But it holds hand. You also want to do commercial. You want to put your brand on with other brands, and you want to associate with
Right.
whatever it is. So it's just about prioritizing, which opportunities we should try to achieve and get in place. But at the same time, it's also where should our focus be? So that's a short answer to a big question.
Understood. Gardar, if you don't mind, why do you believe that the large companies that not that you're competing against because you're in a different market, right? So it's hard to say that you're competing against them. However, you're still trying to take some market share away from them, right? Why do you believe that they don't put something healthier in their products if it's scientifically proven that it's better to do so?
Yeah, exactly. And that's the $1 million question, as you would say. And I mean, and that's always for scale-ups like us, it's always a threat if the big companies start to produce similar products as ours.
Sure.
They can scale up quite fast. They probably have much better contracts with raw materials, and they have all the connections to the retailers. At the same time, it's also a part of their quest is like they don't immediately recognize the niche market until it's big enough for them to participate.
I see.
And then it's about the first mover advantage and creating a brand that people will relate to and creating a community. So when the big companies recognize the opportunity of certain products that are trending and becoming big, maybe at the time it could be too late for them to enter that product, or at the same time they're a big organization. For our big organization, it just takes longer time, long approval, a lot of vetting, while one of the benefits of scale-ups and startups is that fast decision making and speed, and also fast product launches. So I think the biggest hurdle is of course the size of the organizations and also the long time in decision making. And also they don't recognize the opportunities, or they don't want to take the risk that startups do. So that's one of the answers to that question.
Do you ever see good going to the other side, if you will?
I mean, everything's up for sale. If the are you talking about that? Yeah, then definitely at a certain time. But we want to preserve the brand, of course, and we want
Right.
to preserve our vision and mission of creating healthy products, and we don't want to deviate from that fact. So the answer is yes, but we also want to maintain our brand and what we promise to our customers. So that's key for us.
Understood. Gardar, is there anything that I haven't asked you that I should have or that you would like to share with the audience?
So I mean, we just released the pancake mix, and we are working on doing more mixes in the future, and also more spreads. So that's our big product line, is our spreads. So a lot of new interesting things coming up. So I just encourage people to check on our website, goodgood.net, and sign up.
Well, thank you so much for your time, Gardar. I do appreciate it. And like he said, please go visit goodgood.net. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Nice day.
We all have a story to tell. Let's tell yours. Welcome to the Intellectual People Podcast with your host, Jason. Come together and listen to journey stories and more from interesting people. Welcome your host, Jason.